Hi everyone, I'm back and I'm here to do a two-part video on my favorite bags and my most used bags. In this video, I'll show you my 5 favorite bags, and in the next video, I'll show you my 5 most used bags, and we can compare how many of my favorite bags are also my most used. So my criteria for my favorite bags isn't necessarily bags that I carry all that often. I don't own many bags, I think 15 in total, and that includes contemporary, designer, everything. But I would say only 4 to 5 of those bags get used for work. So the rest of my bags are really weekend bags, dinner bags. So as a result, my favorite bags aren't necessarily the ones that I use most often, but they're the ones that make me feel the best when I carry them. I love looking at them. They have a wow factor, at least for me. And just in terms of pure enjoyment, these are the bags that provide that for me. And if you're a lover of bags, that's in part what this whole thing should be about. Since I only own 15 bags, essentially you'll be seeing 2/3 of my collection, 5 bags in this video and 5 in the next. So let's get started with my 5 favorite bags. My first bag is the Chanel Classic Flap in the medium size in black lambskin with gold hardware. When I envision Chanel and I envision luxury, this bag is what comes to mind. I think this is probably my most luxurious bag. This bag is 8 years old. It is in wonderful condition. I didn't buy it pre-love. This was bought brand new from the store, and the lambskin is beautiful. There may be a little bit of rubbing on the corners, but for 8 years, this is a bag, especially when I first got it, I took it everywhere, to the beach, to the movies, everywhere. It's had many things spilled on it, and it's still in pretty wonderful condition. Even though I only own one lambskin bag, I would say in terms of Chanel, lambskin is my favorite leather. I think in the short term, Caviar is a more scratch resistant leather, but in the long term, I think that lambskin wears better, and that's why it used to cost more than Caviar. This is an extremely versatile bag and probably my most beautiful bag. Since being a mom, this is not a weekend bag to me the way that it was before. But when I'm in the market for a small black bag with gold hardware, I can't imagine not having this bag. And that's why it is one of my favorite bags. Next bag is the Pochette Métis in the classic monogram. I did a whole video on my recall experience with this bag. I originally got it in 2015 and completely wrecked my bag. It really worked out for me that there was a recall, and this was the replacement that they gave me last year. It's extremely versatile and functional. I need to carry a certain amount of stuff, so my medium classic flap just won't do on an average weekend, but this can. So next up is the Chanel Classic Flap in the beige clair color. It's in the jumbo size with caviar leather and gold hardware. So I would say that when I go out carrying a classic flap, this is the only one that people will stop me and ask about my bag. I think the black jumbo classic flap has become so ubiquitous in New York and probably other places too, but I live in Manhattan and you see them fairly often. You don't often see light color classic flaps just walking down the street, and as a result, this bag stands out. I think when people talk about elevating an outfit, this is what comes to mind for me. So this is a bag that makes anything I'm wearing look nicer, more expensive, and in turn makes me feel elevated when I wear it. So we've all seen classic flaps at this point. I did a 5-year review on this bag. This bag is now 8 years old. So pretty much all of my classic flaps are 8 years old, because after that, Chanel had a pretty significant price increase and it just wasn't worth it anymore for me to buy classic flaps. So at this point, the only way that I would get another Chanel classic flap is if I sold one and used that money to get one that I liked better. The pricing has become outrageous for these bags. I'm just really, really happy that I own this bag. Again, not a bag that I use often, but this is my only light color bag with gold hardware. So when I need a bag with those specifications, this is the only bag that I have. So even though I don't use it that much, I would not sell it. So here's my newest bag. It is the Hermes Birkin in the 30 centimeter size in the color noir or black with Epsom leather and gold hardware. I did a whole video on how I went about getting this bag, how I saved for this bag, how I chose this bag, so you can definitely watch that. I'll try to link any dedicated videos to these bags in the description box below. I would say since I've gotten this bag, I've carried it quite a few times. So I'm getting a fair amount of use out of it. And this is another bag that, whether I'm wearing a dress or jeans, when I wear it, I just automatically feel put together. The leather is extremely durable. I'm scratching it. It's very scratch resistant. I'm not precious with this bag at all. I take it on the New York City subway. I've taken it in crowded areas. It gets bumped and shoved. That's one of the benefits of the Epsom leather, is that it can really take a beating and the structure is perfect. If you're interested in hearing my thoughts about leathers in general, whether it be Chanel leathers or Hermes leather, I'll be happy to make that video. So just in terms of pure bag enjoyment, the Hermes Birkin is one of my favorite bags. So last up is the very last Chanel bag that I bought. This bag was purchased in 2014, I think. Yes, 2014. So it's a little over 5 years old. It has been used a ton. I just took it to Florida. I'm going to London tomorrow. I may take it with me. We'll see. This is such an easy bag, really functional when you're not carrying a lot. The perfect crossbody length for me. I would say if they didn't raise the price of these, I would probably own another one. I usually wear this bag with just jeans and a t-shirt, but I've also worn it to a wedding. So I think this is pretty versatile. Just to give you an example of why it's hard for me to purchase more Chanel bags and why I haven't in 5 years is when I bought this bag in 2014, it was $2,400. I had about $500 in Saks Rewards points. So this bag was $1,900 or so plus tax. I'm not quite sure how much this bag is now, but it's probably almost doubled in price. And so it's very difficult to pay twice the amount for the same bag. However, if I had enough Saks Rewards points and the perfect mini came up, I might just bite the bullet. All right, guys, so that was my video for my 5 favorite bags in my collection. Let me know what you think. Again, I don't have that many bags. I like having a very small collection. I'm not a blogger or someone that's constantly taking photographs, outfits of the day. So I think it's nice and really simple. If I'm looking for a small bag with silver hardware, I really only have one choice. Or a bigger bag with silver hardware, also only one choice. So there's something really nice in that simplicity. There are only 4 weekends in a month, and most of the bags in my collection are weekend bags because I need very large totes to wear to work. So in the next video, you'll see my most used bags and whether any of my favorite bags made it to that list. I hope you enjoy this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.